As the 70s roll in, stability around the world has never been as shaky. Interplanetary alliances join together to seek ideological supremacy across both planets. Cultural shifts are uprooting norms that have been in place for centuries. Technological shifts have been changing how the world itself functions. As these shifts occur, life continues in the Seedbearer region, where a seemingly random group of people have come together to try and make sense of the nonsensical. This is Hazeltown Story. Hello and welcome to Hazeltown Story episode 4. So the last episode we did, not much exciting happened, mostly it was setup, but we did get a start into looking at the case in which it looks like there were some robotics parts that were missing, and Elmas kind of looked around the area and just kind of scoped it out. That was kind of the majority of what happened last episode. So if you want to know the details of that one, I mean, you should probably go and re-listen to that again. But yeah, long and short, kind of mostly just scoping out the place where the robotics factory was. Didn't find anything concrete, but just got an introduction to the area. So that was kind of the entirety of that morning. And we're now going into the evening part of that day. That being day 2 of this investigation. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is for that segment. Don't have any news or anything for, the future. At least nothing concrete. So I'm just going to go ahead and start the session after character introductions.
Hi, I'm Ax. I play Aria Stragelle as a doctor slash mortician. And the pronouns are they, them.
Right.
I think that's everything.
Yep. Bob, you're next.
Hello, I am Bobinator. I am playing Ferrus D'Ettero. He is a full-time explorer, part-time TV host for his own TV show, Whole Wide World. And he's a he-him.
All right. Hi, I'm Carnival. This time I'll be playing Elmas Grenner, she, they, an engineer who will often ask the question of, can I do this rather than should I? As evidenced by her inventions, I also play Claudia Lupin, a would-be thief, and Yuhar Govenin, a retired pirate.
Hello, I am of course Staff Master 780. I play Bob B, a businessman who does nothing illegal whatsoever. Pronouns are he, him. And I also play Nels Masters, a lady obsessed with death. Pronouns are she, her.
I'm TorpidTypist and I play Iravia, she, her. And she's the mad cow your parents warned you
There's
about.
going to be another downtime phase. So same thing, 2 downtime actions in which you can do kind of what you want to do with your characters. So we're going to do this the same way as we did last time. So Ax. You there, Ax?
Yeah.
So you get 2 downtime actions again. In this case, I don't know. I think training is probably going to still be your best bet because you didn't really do anything stress, so you're at full. So I would imagine training twice again would probably be your best case.
There's no other I can't think of anything like a project to work on that would help in any way. So yeah, I guess I'll just add another. Okay, so that line. Oh no, there we go. And I'll just dump another 2 points into charisma.
All right. Bob.
Honestly, I think I'm just going to keep doing what I was doing, put another couple of points into cunning.
All right. Carnival.
So Lolo.
Uh-huh.
How can is making an AI system for the drone network out of the question?
In what way?
Like all the drones that we use just have their own AI now that they can interface and talk to us about with things.
Now you're talking. Are you talking?
Carnival jumpstart the singularity.
Okay, so you're talking about having the robots think.
Yes. Yes, I'm going to invent. Our drones are going to become the Tachakomas.
Okay. So I have a plan that you could do that. You're gonna have to involve rituals with that, by the way. So if you're trying to technologically do that, I'm gonna say no. But give this season a little bit, and I will give a different answer for you.
Okay. Can I at least, in that case, then I'll start creating. I'm trying to think about this now.
You could do the stealth drive. I'm just saying.
Sure, why not? Let's do the stealth drive.
Okay, so what you want is basically something to make your drones invisible.
Yes.
So scout tunics are a thing, which there are military applications in which there are like clothing that can make someone invisible. That is in the realm of possibility. However, and there are technomechanical, or was it technomanical ways of doing that.
Technomagical.
Yes.
Technomechanical is that what you're saying?
Well, I was thinking technomancy because I was thinking technomanical, I guess would be the adjective version of that. But there are ways you can do that don't involve like using magic.
It would be technomechanical though. Like you don't say necromanical.
I guess it would be technomechanical then, which is a weird phrasing. Anyway,
I mean, to be fair,
the point is,
my point is, it doesn't matter because none of it makes sense, no matter how you hash it.
Yeah. So for this one, I would say, this would require you to get. First off, what you'd have to do is you'd have to acquire a. You would have to, in order to do that, you would have to acquire a stealth suit,
Hey, Bobby.
essentially. So that's one part of it. The second part would be, reverse engineering it, and then you'd have to craft it.
Sure, let's go with that.
I'll tell you what it is. First off, you got to acquire it. So that's the first thing. I would say to set up that long-term project. That'll take up one action.
All right, so I'll go ahead and do that acquire.
Okay, so acquiring it. So the thing I would say is you do have someone who has the agent. So you have some people that can get you that thing like pretty more readily. You also could go through personal channels and do it. It will take longer, but you can do it by yourself.
I'll ask for help.
So that will take up someone else's downtime action.
Ah, okay.
I'm trying to think because none of the downtime actions are like give someone else a downtime action in exchange for one of your own.
List the downtime actions.
It's in the mechanics guide, so if you go to your
I posted it earlier, but I can relink it.
Okay, because I don't see the mechanics guide on the main page, so
I posted it in the Roll20 chat.
Hello, is it okay time to bring up a rules thing?
Sure.
I'm looking at people's character sheets, and I notice some people different skills than others. Like
so,
Iravia has Endure, but in the same spot, I have Revere.
Oh, wait.
That's called Lolo didn't upgrade all the sheets, but he updated mine because I was complaining about it.
Yeah, that is something that.
So that is on Lolo, because
Yes.
Lolo didn't quite update every sheet.
Okay, I was just looking at the same thing of.
So it's not a rules problem. That is just a.
That is an oopsie.
Not updating wording problem.
I was just asking. I was looking at my sheet. I might ask you later if it's too late to change where I put my XP because I'm not sure just yet.
Yep, that'll be we can do that after.
Okay.
Yeah, but Lolo's usually pretty understanding about these things.
Yep.
That said, hey Carnival, could you help me copy the thing I mentioned into my sheet? Because I don't trust me not breaking things again.
Okay, what do you need copied?
It's under archetypes. It's under the sworn. It is prepared for this.
Okay.
Basically, I'm making myself even more bullshit supernatural magnet. Yeah, last time I tried doing that shit, something broke. And time before that, it broke as well. So I kind of just like lean on you and Lolo for that shit.
Yeah, fair
Since
enough.
we got a bit of downtime. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be under my like first fingers and pies. Yeah. Oh shit, it's nice and blue too. Oh fuck. Damn, that's slick though.
Yep.
I get a fucking rainbow on my sheet. Fuck all y'all.
So Carnival, what do you want to do?
If no one, I don't want to end up taking someone else's action. So,
I mean, depends on if they agree to it or not.
well,
You can ask.
oh yeah. So then, yeah, could I borrow an action?
From who?
I mean, I would think most logically be Bobby, like going through his connections to get the stealth thing.
Military stealth attack.
Well, let me actually check to see who all, because there is one. Wait, hold on. Oh, right, you don't have it. You don't have it purchased though. I don't think. Let me check something. If you put points into Yuhar, you have Yuhar. There is a talent for Yuhar that has got a guy that is for the rogue.
Ah, you're right, but I'm too far away from. I'm too far away from that to work.
Also, does someone else? Yuhar okay. Yuhar has it. Wait, does
I was gonna
Bobby
say,
even have?
unfortunately,
Actually, I don't think.
Okay, then that's right. Then never mind. Well, Elvis is just gonna do this the hard way.
All right. Since this is something that is pretty up there, I'm going to call that a 12 process clock thing.
All right. So,
That being, I mean, what you're trying to do is pretty. Okay, is that 10? You know what? It's actually, I'm just going to do 10. And it starts with a pip. And edit that guy. Nameplate. Yeah. Okay, so now that I denoted what that is, do you want to try and do that?
sure.
What? How?
So this is acquiring an asset, right?
Yes. So how would you try and do this?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. How would I try and do this?
If anything,
blackmail.
I honestly think this is like a research thing, because like
I could also argue I could possibly see interface being
It'd definitely be acquire asset.
acquire asset. I mean, it's acquiring an asset, but what is the verb to have
Yeah,
you
what
check?
the verb to roll here? It's like
I would. So the thing that I'm thinking is possibly sabotage, because you are trying to get something in a illicit manner.
yeah, that makes sense. All right, roll in one sabotage. 2.
2. Okay, so that is a failure. Well, it is quote unquote failure, which means that you get 2 progress on it.
All right, and then I'll go ahead and at this point I'll have my other one spent. Claudia's gonna go train some more.
I was gonna say that was using both of them.
Oh yeah, that's right, because it was harder. Yeah. All right.
So DM.
I'll
you want
just
to
train
do?
the agent.
Train the agent.
Quick,
Go ahead.
really quick. Does Claudia have sabotage at a meaningful level?
I was gonna train her in her skill point in like class, not.
Oh. No, but I meant
actually,
though to use for your check.
Ah, you're right. Actually,
that is a good point. Claudia does have 2.
I mean, Yuhar is actually probably the best one for that because.
Actually, yeah, you could have you are acquiring that is probably a lot easier.
Yeah, let's try that.
I'm just saying. It might help you quick.
I appreciate that you changed roll 20 that you're doing it under.
I mean, it helps with like keeping a backlog in terms of the rolls, honestly. So sure.
Oh, that is true. Okay.
See, I don't need to change anything.
Well,
'Cause
great.
it's always
Well, it didn't matter.
2-1-1.
Jesus.
Okay.
Look, I
So now
tried
the-
to help. I tried.
No, I appreciate it. And besides, it's great. It's like it went really well to get the flying part, so it just means that the stealth drive is going to take a bit more time before we get to the ultimate goal of the Tachikama drone army.
So yeah, the DM now you can go. And you were gonna do both in the agent.
Yes.
All right, Torpo.
Yeah, I was looking just to see if there's anything I wanted to do that wasn't just
Iravia could help with the stealth drone.
sorry about that. Didn't mean to slap my fucking mic. Iravia does not have the stats to help with the stealth drone. I'm sorry to tell you this.
Oh well.
Also, Iravia does not approve of the stealth drone. That's the other thing. Iravia is disgusted by the stealth drone. Yeah, I think I'll just go with I mean, I guess at this point, because I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought it through. I might start doing other stuff in the future, but for now, I think I'll put 2 experience in the muscle, because getting loom would be really nice.
All right.
Not loom, trip to the gun show. Wait, really quick.
Uh-huh.
Loom and trip to the gun show together are weird.
By being, huh?
One is for you,
Okay.
one is for an ally, but it feels weird having them both. But either way.
Yep.
That's,
Okay, so
that's for
you're
another time.
both putting in the muscle.
Yeah, so 1 more experience and boosh.
While
will
we're
have-
discussing experience, is it okay if I move XP to one of my archetypes?
Go ahead, go for it.
Okay.
I was gonna say maybe worry about like respecing and all that after we're done. Personally,
If it's in between, like, the only thing would be like if you get something out of it at that point, I would more like if you get like a new ability, you can't just go back and like, oh, then it. But once you like increase a skill or you learn something, then it's done. But yeah. So there's that. So with that, that's everyone's downtime action. Do you want to discuss what you want to do next?
Sure. Okay, everyone else decide what you're doing first, and then I'll pick.
okay. Why don't we go over what we've got to work with next? First off, before we decide to help get everyone on the same page.
Yeah. Right now, actually, there's really you're kind of at a weird spot because in terms of cartoon, like the one that we're labeling cartoon heroes, you really don't have anything to go on other than you can scrying session that one, or you could either wait until night for a scrying session to go through it yourself, or you could potentially have someone else look at it.
Yeah, and then the other one is currently just a waiting game, isn't it?
Um,
The breaking and entering one.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, then I figure we may as well just stick together for the scrying session.
Yeah, that seems fine to me.
So at this case, if you're just all here for the scrying session, then what I'll essentially do is, I'm going to say that, let's say that everyone just takes a relax and recovers because you technically didn't do anything for the evening investigation period. So everyone's back at full stuff.
I rested off these horrible giant splinters.
Iravia, what happened?
She fought a bench and lost.
I damn won.
More like a draw, I
Yourself.
guess.
Look, not every victory is clean and perfect, but I won.
Okay. I put cameras around the factory.
Did you find anything useful?
They were working on prosthetics, and it seems like it's someone's pet project that's causing the stealing because it's not like shipments, but like very small individual things. But otherwise, talking to the people and the management seems like no one's got a bigger clue. So at this point, I basically have cameras around the perimeter and in the building. So we'll see once we get those come in.
Well, Bobby knows one thing. It's that regardless of what they may think, there's always competition. So even if they don't know about it,
So how was Toby's brother?
boring.
Handled me barreling through a bench surprisingly well.
He had
I think
forewarning.
Toby sold me out.
First, say that he seemed nice, kind of plain, but nice.
You wouldn't tell many stories about Toby, and I'm angry about that.
Ferrus will say that he probably didn't tell you because you probably used them against him. He'll say you know he's right.
Mm-hmm. Look,
Eh.
all I wanted was ammunition. Oh yeah,
Anyway.
busting skinheads in the dream.
Yes, Bobby waggles the book and says, yes, we need to go hop into this little baby here to go find us some skinheads out in the wilderness.
All right, sounds fun.
Yes, I
It is.
assume our scryers are on their way. They should be anyway.
Yeah. So actually, I just realized because Aria and Ferrus had not been part of a scrying session because you actually didn't need one the last session. To briefly describe what's going on here, you are all meeting at the Hazeltown Library.
I thought we had rooms at the office for that.
So because they want to keep Bibley's being kept in the library, and
Bibley's kind of a secret, yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to move her. So everyone, and because it is probably just going to be you group going in, it is going to be Rhapsody, Lomi, and Radia, and Bibley, and Henry / Lolo, and I think that's all. Yeah, that's all the people.
Did you say Rhapsody?
Yeah, Rhapsody. Yeah,
And
Yep.
and
Lomi, the person to put you under, the person to keep on your to keep your medical check, the person to keep the records or to like record it digitally, which is Radia, Bibley and Lolo, who are the readers.
and
I
thankfully
think that's
Theron
it.
doesn't need to be there.
Theron does bookkeeping.
Theron is a bank account.
No Cass either.
Nope.
That was good. Let's go under.
So just because the two had not experienced it, so you two don't exactly know what a scrying session is. At least you've never actually done it before. So you all meet up in the Hazeltown Library, and you go into a back room. There is a circle of chairs in the center of the room, in which you see some people. You see Radio with a computer. You see Henry and Bibley like on a table. You see Rhapsody with, I don't know. She's going to try ukulele this time because it was easier to transport. And Lobi, who is there to keep medical checkup.
I don't know. Should have gone with the mouth harp.
Ferrus will raise his hand slowly and ask if this is safe.
Totally. This is what, my second or third time doing this?
This would be Elmas's second.
Wait, third, because I was there for when we had a selfie.
Right.
Ferrus will also ask if this is one of those if you die in the book, you die in real life sorts of situations.
You know, nobody's died yet, so I don't know.
Ferrus will say that's not very comforting at all.
And people have died in the dream, but none of us.
So, Lomi will kind of chime in here and just say, look, as far as have you ever died in a dream before?
He will say he does not remember.
Well, it's kind of the same as that. You die in a dream, you don't die in real life. So it's just about as safe as dreaming.
Oh, Bobby doesn't know about that. For all
Right.
Bobby's dreams are about him being rich, and when he wakes up, he's already rich.
I don't know, I've had some really, really strange dreams, but
Ferrus will also ask when all this is over and they get some free time if he can about this, because this is something he'd like to make a thing about.
Well, we're trying to keep.
Trying to keep this on the down low, friends. So you got kind of motions like turn off the camera kind of gesture.
He will make a grunt and do so.
Okay. So does anyone have any? So at this point, let's see. You know what? Screw it, because technically this is the first arc. This is a different arc, and it's kind of a reboot. At this point, Henry is not Henry in this one. Because technically, okay, I hate describing this because it is a
if you're self-insert,
yes, but essentially, it is. I hate this, because I don't. You see Lolo in kind of his natural form, which is he is, blue with he is not a human, turns out.
wow, getting fucking blatant now.
Yeah,
You're saying he's not like a perfectly formed spear?
no. But yes, you see him in his actual form. And he's like, okay,
Very bullshit.
So I took a look at this. So it seems like most of this is just taking a look into a singular room. We're gonna go in ghost form for this one. But you should be able to walk around and keep an eye or take a look at anything in part. You should be able to see everything, but it looks like there's not a whole lot to this. So we're gonna go in ghost form for this one.
Bobby just
Also-
rolls his eyes and says, shocking that the damn canaries couldn't actually pull out anything useful.
Jeez.
Ferrus will,
Ferrus, if it's any consolation about the dreams, they're the closest thing to a normal dream I've ever had.
Ferrus will say that's concerning and also ask what they mean when they say ghost form.
You'll
So-
see when we
Interact.
get there, friend. It's a
You
trip.
can see, can't touch.
You can enjoy some delicious those cigars.
It's like a strip club. Look, don't touch.
Ferrus will say that he's been in enough strip clubs for a little while, thank you.
Good for you.
Oh, that reminds Bobby. Henry, did you ever find your spy?
We, as I say, we looked a little bit into that. We believe we did come across him, and nothing really came up of it.
Oh, what a waste of time. Well, might as well get going. Doctor, waggles his eyebrows at me. Come check me up.
So Lomi just kind of stands there. He's like, I've already been doing it. Thankfully, with your all discussion, I've been able to check it as you've been doing that, and I can stand right here and do so.
Ah, your loss.
Look, it's better if you just ignore Bobby. Any reaction only encourages him.
All right. So let's see. So as you all go under, as you wake up, or let's say this: you go under, and you wake up. Inside the room, you see essentially what looks like the inside of a large tent. You notice that there is light coming out of the tent. So it is probably day. From the brief glimpse you can see outside the tent, and you can't really see much beyond it. You can tell that there is snow on the ground. And you see in the middle there is in this tent. Let's see how big is the tent going to be. The tent's going to be, it's a large, almost like a canopy sized tent. Like it's not just like it's not a Coleman tent. It's like one of those tents that they put outside of like
How many people is it meant to fit?
say about maybe 20.
Okay, it's think a better, more helpful than anything. Personally,
That is, yeah, that's probably a better thing. Like there you could put fitting seating for like 20 people. And in there's a bunch of there is a bunch of tables with paper written around it, or like a bunch of paper with stuff written on them. And in the center there is a center table that is like a longer table that you see three men standing there looking over a map.
I've never witnessed so many men in my life.
I will take a closer look at the map.
So you take a look at the map. You can tell that it is a map of the Seed Bearer region in particular. And you see a few areas circled on it. The one of note is one that is fairly close to where you're actually at. It is actually about maybe an hour north of Hazeltown.
Can I roll to see if I know where this is and what's important about this place?
You can roll because that'll give me time to get the name generator up.
All right.
Nice.
What is this? Research?
Let's go.
I mean, you make your decision on
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah. You make it. You make a decision.
I'm gonna say research then.
All right. So if
I have my stress back too, right?
your stress is complete, yeah. Your stress is your stress should be at 10.
Might as well push again then. What
Yeah.
kind of bargain are we looking at?
Hold on. Let me think about what the. Let me give you a the position and the effect. I'd say it's they can't do anything to you, so it's controlled. And I would say your effect, especially since you're kind of familiar with it and you have enough place to glance at it, that's probably a. What are you trying to do?
I want to see where this is they want to go and what's important about it to see if I can find a clue about what to do next.
Yeah, see if Ferrus knows like what it might be.
Yeah, that would be. I would imagine the way the fair. Yes, I would say that's greater. Or great effect.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so I'll push and I'll wait to hear the bargain before I decide if I do want to do that.
The bargain would be lesser effect. So it'd be normal instead of great. Okay.
Let's see. Does this count as nature? Because I get another dice for that.
You did say it was outside of Hazeltown.
Yes.
Nature and history, so.
Think nature.
Yeah,
Not
let's.
history.
Well, I mean, one of them is what counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
All right, I'm going to take 4 dice then, so.
Okay. Also, this place is giving me super shitty names. Like, not shitty in the way of, congratulations, you rolled a
They're
straight.
just bad. They just suck.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is that good?
It's
So
a
you
mixed
rolled a-
success, so yeah.
Okay, let me double check what that counts. What that does. This is controlled. You rolled. Let's see. You hesitate. You withdraw. So as you do so, you can't quite. You see that it's not associated with a actual place name. It's a little bit outside of it, and you can't quite figure. Like you remember that it's a place that there's a lot of like camping. But it's not a place that it is a place that you can tell that if they go there, it is where like a lot of tents could not be seen as suspicious.
So it's like a
Interesting.
campground.
Yeah, there are campgrounds, but also there are just places in the forest that people usually camp
Also-
at.
Just DM,
I'm
fuck
gonna
off. Stop that.
I'm gonna relay that back to everybody.
Oh god, not this again.
Ferris asked they think they're doing more drugs out there.
I'm not worried
Uh,
about the drugs. Last time we had fun in the woods, someone pulled a gun on me.
This is true.
Oh God, you're right.
I just asked Bob B, who pulled a gun on them.
So let's see what else.
I'm gonna
So,
take the. Go
ahead.
I was saying I'm just gonna take the time to read the papers around the tent. In the meantime,
All right. Yeah. So, roll an action roll to kind of see if you can parse things out.
oh boy, best I got's an investigate. Oh boy.
All right.
I mean, I could assist a spinstress to assist you.
Yep. You could.
You could also attempt it, yeah. I mean,
Well, no, because Carnival can, as Elmas, can pass along. He can spend
Does
his
this-
stress.
Does this count as related to my crafts? If it is, I can help without stress.
No,
this
in this
is
one,
just
no.
basic reading.
Yeah, this one is no. This is not. You can't do that without stress.
This is how literate is Iravia. But yeah,
Okay,
I'd be
yeah,
down for that, Carnival.
I'll take one stress, and then you go ahead and take one extra die.
Oh, this is gonna be hella awkward. So
you-
that's 2 dice.
So that's 2 dice, which you can yourself also push.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do, was push it. Push
Okay.
it to the limit. Investigate. What are the values? I'm guessing
So
controlled, great.
uh,
Nothing's happening.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna push it, so that's 3 whole dice. Make sure my abilities. I don't think any of them translate, but I just want to see really fast.
Yep.
Damn. Shame I don't meditate that often. Yeah, no, I think that's about as good as it gets. Alrighty. Not dog shit.
Not
Not dog shit, actually. That's pretty alright.
So it's a mix assessed. So what I'd say is the ear effect is going to be slightly diminished, but you read it and you can tell that these are documents that are they are supply chain documents trying to get material for trying to get things like, say, weapons available to them, getting things like locations for key targets of the area, potentially any people who might be, people they think might be in the area trying to assist trying to assist counter efforts against Cygnus from afar, essentially. Like people in hiding, just a bunch of documents that you can't write none of the names in particular, but you can tell that these are names that these are.
So
you
they're
can
trying
see
to
what the names.
ferret out detractors is what's happening.
Yes, and find locations that are that they can house in that gets them closer to the action, essentially.
Hey Bobby, any of this interest you?
Yes. Did Ferris mention out loud the camping ground part?
I would imagine that as Ferris kind of was looking at, probably mentioned it there.
Yeah,
Yes,
Bob, did
and-
Ferris mention it out loud? Bob. Bobinator. Bob. I think Bob's dead.
Yep.
Well, let's assume yes then.
Yeah.
Did we figure out where it was exactly from that, or no?
You could point out a general location, but you could say it's like, oh, you could triangulate the area. It's not like this is in this town. It's like outside of another town.
Oh, the thing is that you mentioned that it's in a camping ground. And as we know, Bobby happens to run a store that deals in camping. So, what I wanted was to know if I could try to use Intuit to try and narrow it down more about where this could be. Based on what we
See,
know.
I was referring to the paperwork I had,
I'll get to that in a second.
and I just figured worth mentioning.
Yeah,
it's
on the list.
You could actually.
Right. So yeah, then I'll make an Intuit roll.
Okay. So if you want into it, where the thing is that definitely it's controlled. It's especially great because especially since you would have knowledge in that. Actually, if I take a look at your sheet, I would say your expertise of business would account for that.
Okay, how do I apply that to this?
You just get another die.
All right.
It'd be as if you're into it would be a 2 instead of a 1.
All right. 2 instead of 1.
That's so. The answer is no. You did not. You can't parse exactly which campground it is.
All right. What was the bit about the papers?
Oh, the papers themselves were of supply lines and also political detractors to Cygnus.
All right.
Is there anything else?
Particularly folks funding movements against them.
All right.
Is there anything else I can do here to help?
I don't know. Is there anything that you'd want to try and do?
Well, think of a lot. I've already done everything I can looking at the map, right?
I don't know. I mean, you have free movement. You can also like the people who
go
are there
outside the
are
tent.
talking, but you can't
Yeah.
go outside the tent.
Okay, you can't.
Nope.
I
you
guess
only
I as well
have
listen to
there.
people in the tent, see if they say anything useful.
Actually, before and just because I want to make sure that people have time. X, is there anything you specifically want to do as Aria?
Look, I'll be honest. Like, I have no idea what we're doing right now.
We're inside of a tent that have a bunch of white supremacists in it that are, or not a bunch, but there are 3 white supremacists who are trying to they are discussing plans, essentially. And you can you're kind of in a ghost form and just you can poke around and take a look at things.
That's why we're not killing them. Why exactly are we here with these specific individuals?
Trying to find out where they are.
Find out where they are. Okay. All right. Can I see? I can't leave the tent. Can I see outside of the tent?
You could try and so there's like a little opening in the tent that you could take a look at if you want to.
All right. Are there any maps laying around?
There was a main map that had that Ferrus looked at that had it was a view of the general locale, and there were some circled locations that one of them was pretty close by. That it was in a location that's not quite in a town, so it's hard to you can tell where it is if you had a map, but it's not a named location.
All right. Would it be possible to use my got the brochure ability and my investigate ability to determine the location through the map?
Let me take a look. For sure. Okay. Here.
Or at least get a general area that we could look in.
With what you're trying to do, I would say that would count. So yeah, I would say that you could do a +1 to, you could do a +1 to investigate if you want. Is that what you said you wanted to try?
Yeah, I want to basically what I want to do is I want to observe the map or maps and see if I can locate where they're currently situated based on the information they've put on those maps.
Okay. Yeah, that would. I would say you definitely have the time. You have enough time to prepare,
All right,
so that would be controlled.
Okay. Effect?
And effect. I'm gonna say normal, or what's the term?
Standard?
I forgot. Standard, yes.
Standard. Number of dice.
So in your case, it would be 3, unless you want to push, which costs 2 stress. Which I think your character has a lot of stress.
I do have a lot of stress. What? Goddamn, do I have a lot of stress? Let's go with 4 dice at the expense of 2 stress.
Yep.
And I guess I gotta put that. That's what. Is it the bold one or the non-bolded one that I change?
It's a non-bolded one.
Okay. 13 it is. Alrighty, let's do this.
So that is a mixed success. So you rolled a 5, 5, 1, 3. So with that, with that, I'm gonna say that the effects just slightly diminished. So you take a look at the map. You kind of take a look. You just kind of you can peek outside a little bit of the tent, and you can see that you're in a very snowy locale. You can kind of get a slight view that you're definitely in a tent. So you can get a view of the horizon, and you can tell you're in a rather flat area. And you can see some mountains in the distance. You also, as you kind of take a look at the map, you can also, you see that there are a lot of recently written documents by it. You can also see that some of them are dated. So you can tell that as this was written, it was kind of roughly, it was pretty far into spring. So the fact that it's snowing out and you see that the snow has pretty much been there all the time, you can kind of gauge that you're in probably a area, and you can also, as you see outside, just like a little bit, you can tell that you're very high up. And you take a look at the map in some of the circled areas. You see that there is one that is located kind of roughly where Montana would be, or in that kind of region, somewhere like in the Rockies or somewhere like that, like Upper Rockies. So you can tell that it's roughly in that area. You can, from what you can tell from the map, it is in a region that's pretty remote.
All right, so they're located somewhere in quote unquote Montana.
Yes, but you can tell they are far away from where you are.
Right. Okay. Snowy location, flat terrain, mountains in the distance. You can fuck them. Written documents nearby. You said dating back to the spring.
Yes.
High altitude, and the area they seem to be located is somewhere in a Montana lake, and it's remote. Okay. Okay. Actually, another thought occurs. I don't know if I still take an action, or we move to the next person.
I felt
I know it's stopping you.
Yeah, you have.
No, I don't want to.
No, my point is,
Yeah, go.
if someone wants to do something, they'll say.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the people? I get a good look at them and like get any characteristics or what they look like, what they're wearing, anything that can identify them.
So I will say that they are all male. They are all human. They are all white. They're all pointed-eared. They look like they're all bald. They're all like they're white supremacists.
Oh god, they really are skinheads.
Thieves stealing a hairstyle. What about clothing?
Clothing are surplus, like Vietnam, like that taxi driver.
I've never seen it, but I know the gist.
Yes, the get up that Travis Bickle's wearing, like the whole surplus military jacket.
I'd more resonate with falling down.
Falling down, yes.
Yeah,
Fucking
the
falling
Nazi
down
scene.
is great.
Falling Down's one of the greatest fucking movies, and also Iron Maiden did a song about it. But okay, so they're all stolen valor, I assume. So,
Let's see.
or
I
did
mean,
did some of them serve?
look, the military can also be a breeding ground for white
Oh,
nationalists. You know it.
absolutely,
I would
As
say
a-
Yes.
absolutely. But at the same time, like I've known a couple
It-
people who are both.
the likelihood of it being stolen, like you don't see anything in particular that like signifies serving. It is very likely that some of them have not served.
All right, so more reason to despise them. All right, and then finally, do any of them have any distinguishing marks on their faces or invisible parts of their bodies?
Um,
I don't know. Let's take down the pants.
unfortunately, you do not have. You cannot take down the.
You can look into them though. It's fine.
Ghost pantsing is a thing, Lolo. It's been documented.
You said they were talking?
Yes.
What are they saying?
They are basically pointing out locations and they're not being like they're saying like, oh, our scouts found like locations that might be good here, here, and here. They don't have the names of them.
Hmm.
Do any really stand out as like important to them?
They do point out the one that is pretty close by because it's closest to the city, like it's closest to the Steinwald, which is like the major city, which is close to the U.S. border. But it's also highly, because it is such a contentious city, that it is also, like, it's also like pretty covered.
Now, are there any identifying marks on any of them that we might be able to recognize if we cross them?
I would say no.
Damn it! All right, so it's generic white dudes being
Yep.
generic white dudes. All right, that's all I've
Just a
got.
bunch of generic skinheads. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got pretty much everything we need. We learned about the papers.
There is
Got a basic idea of what they're saying, which isn't important.
there's maybe one thing we can do.
Oh.
Can we switch over to physical space mode?
With the size of it and the fact that you don't have like an equivalent thing, no, you wouldn't.
Alright.
Look, as much as I'd like to wring their pale ass necks, unfortunately we can't.
Maybe we'll get lucky and come across them.
I mean, look, the entire point of this is to plan a raid anyway.
Maybe we'll get lucky and Lolo will put a lot of them in our way.
This isn't the end of that. This isn't the end of the task.
Look, I'm just saying Iravia is all too happy to bloody her knuckles.
And all I'm saying is it's never too late to give us a lot of Nazi fodder.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think we got everything that
Mhm.
that seems to matter. Everyone else in agreement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bob also agrees.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm
Oh,
up for
hi.
it.
Yeah, okay. Hi.
I'm sorry. I've just been listening to you guys.
I know. It just at one point I was calling out your name and I think you weren't here briefly.
But yeah, I think you're all good.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So as you all agree that you think you got everything, it kind of fades out, and the next thing you realize you are all back in the library. Just kind of all like, oh hey, I'm back here.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, you can see that Radia is busy trying to get recording of what you all saw, keeping it in a way that you can view it for later. Lolo is kind of taking a note of what was shown. Made note of the fact that you had visibility of the map, so you can use that for cross reference, and we should be in. And it seems like that the that book that you got actually had good information in it, or at least from what you could tell.
We did it. Clap,
Yay.
clap, 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 clap.
Thank you for listening to Hazeltown Story. If you would like to get updates on this show and many other shows hosted by me, LoloDePuzlo, you can follow at Hazeltown Story on Twitter, and if you would like to get to know me more from a personal standpoint, you can follow my personal Twitter at LoloDePuzlo. If you would like to watch this be recorded live, you can go to twitch.tv/LoloDePuzlo and follow the channel for notifications of when this show, as well as other shows like Retro Rank Rhapsody, are being recorded. If you would like to add this podcast to your podcatcher of choice, you can search for WLDP Hazeltown Radio and find us on most major podcatching search engines, or you can manually add rss.hazeltown.life to your podcatcher. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come around for the next episode.